Most people accept their default programming, feelings and thoughts that have been conditioned into you over your lifetime. And this is exactly why you keep attracting the same crappy circumstances, the same types of relationships, the same types of opportunities coming into your life, the money scarcity, the powerlessness. And in this video, I'm going to give you a 4-step process that you can begin to use today. And this will allow you to move in any direction. This was actually inspired a couple months ago when I was building a computer while studying consciousness, realizing the striking parallels between these two systems. Because you see, your internal world and your external world are just reflections of themselves. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. There are 4 components to your consciousness. And even the researchers, the experts, get this wrong. Your brain is simply a radio receiver antenna. It's able to receive information and transmit information. It is the hardware of your consciousness. Inherently, it doesn't really do anything. Just like a computer without an internet connection is very limited in what you can actually do with it. Then you have your conscious mind. This is the commander. You are the operator of your reality. We'll get into this a little bit later. But you are the conscious operator, and nothing can really happen unless someone is sending the commands out. Many people live in this paradigm of being told what to do, being told what they should feel, what they should think. But they don't realize that they are the creators of their reality. The next level here is your subconscious mind. And you can think of your subconscious mind as sort of the Google Cloud or Apple. What does Apple have? Apple iCloud, right? And this is where all this information is stored. This is where what do you do with your cloud, right? You store all your pictures, your videos, memories, all sorts of things that you might have even forgotten about. So your subconscious mind is responsible for taking things that are beyond your conscious mind, because that makes up only 10% of your mind's power, and storing them for when you need them or when they to be called on. Some, maybe thoughts, feelings, buried away forever, right? Traumatic memories buried away forever, but they're still there in your subconscious mind. So you can think of the subconscious mind as the womb of your reality, the Google Cloud, where all the information goes. But the subconscious mind, again, on its own, can't really do anything unless it's commanded. It will only follow its own process. The next layer down, the last layer, I would say, is the supraconscious mind. This is the mind of God. This is what we call infinite expansive awareness, the Most High, whatever you want to call it, the universe. And this can be almost compared to as the internet connection, the vast expanse of knowledge, the vast expanse of collective knowledge available out there. So how do we work with these 4 components? How do we take advantage of this faculty, this gift that we've been given, and use it to its maximum potential? There are 4 steps to do this. Step 1 is interrupt the code. Step 2, assert dominance over your reality. Step 3, execute the command prompts. And step 4, embody this version of you completely. The first one here is interrupt the code. You've been conditioned to think a certain way, feel a certain way, absorbed thoughts that don't serve you. You see, you don't choose what to think if you're living your life passively. Your thoughts choose you. You're told what to feel. You're told what to think. So what is the garbage that's running in your mind right now? Are you watching the news every night? Are you ingesting information that no longer serves you? Are you addicted to substances, porn? Are you addicted to... How much of your mind share is being taken up by things that don't actually serve you? Recognize this. And I bet on a somewhat conscious level, you already know what these things are. That toxic relationship, like we mentioned earlier. That job that no longer serves you. That narcissist that keeps planting those thoughts in your head because you let them. Notice what is the garbage running in your head. Now, garbage thoughts don't just form on their own. They're underlying emotions. What do you feel on a daily basis? What are you feeling as you walk throughout, what are you feeling as you move throughout your day? Take note. And the third thing here, as part of this, step 1, is realize that your thoughts over time, combined with emotions, will create your reality. Simple as that. And so think about the thoughts that you've been thinking. How long have you been thinking this way? And what are the circumstances that have caused you to think this way for this long? The first step here is simply awareness, because 90% of change will happen with awareness. You see, when I was working as a paramedic and I was burnt out, I didn't realize I was burnt out. Other people around me could notice that. I didn't have the awareness that I was carrying a bunch of trauma, unprocessed feelings, and emotions. And I kept piling these up until it became too much. And it's only when I hit that breaking point that I realized I began to have the awareness of how I was actually thinking and feeling about things on a deeper subconscious level. Step 2 is assert dominance over your reality. You are the creator of your reality. You were created by a universal creator, a divine force. And you can create in just that way. See, you're working from the plane of effects right now. Things are happening to you. Life is happening to you. But realize life is happening for you. And it's up to you to decide what you want. So decide exactly what you want with extreme clarity. Maybe even write it down. Have a vision for your future and what it's going to look like. And begin believing in that future. The causal plane is the plane of cause. It's where things are caused, where things come down from your thoughts. This is where your thoughts and feelings reside. This is where all the magic happens, and then that rains down into effects in your reality. So you need to decide what you want and act like you own the simulation, because you do. Because consciousness is the commander of this simulation. And this is how many people's power has been stripped away from them. Step 3, execute command prompts. You have the ability to speak. Many animals don't. Many animals don't have this ability to communicate. But you can literally speak things into your reality. When you speak, you create a vibration. Your vocal cords vibrate and a sound comes out, right? This literally has an effect on your reality around you. When you own your voice, when you can speak your truth to others without caring what anybody is going to think, at that point you know you own your voice. You own your vision. I said earlier, if you don't choose your thoughts choose you. And the best way to affirm what you think and believe is to speak it into existence. When somebody asks you what you're doing, this is a great example. I used to go to, well, I still do go to the gun club, and I'll go target shooting. I'll do this once a week. And when I first started going, I was on this YouTube journey. I was making videos here and there. I was hoping I would start a coaching business. And people would ask me at the gun club what I did. At the time, I didn't really have a job. I was sort of on my path figuring things out. And I didn't really know what to say to them. And I would always make shit up. I would say like, oh, well, in a sense I didn't make it up, but I was bending the truth. I would say like, oh, I'm a consultant. I was actually a project manager for some time. So I'd say, oh, I'm a project manager, or I'd make some things up. I remember a few times even saying, oh, I'm a paramedic. When I really wasn't. That was years ago that I used to do that. And I realized I was self-sabotaging myself because I was affirming these things in my reality. I was affirming that I was not able or not in that identity of what I wanted to be. There's something called a belief gap. That gap from where you are now to where you want to be. You need to close that gap immediately and just begin by being the thing that you want to be. You can skip many steps this way. Fast forward to now. I've been making YouTube videos. I'm committed to making these YouTube videos, sharing the things I'm learning, the things I get excited about. I started coaching a couple months ago. And now when I go target shooting, I tell them I'm a YouTuber, I'm a coach. And you get mixed responses, but it doesn't fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter what their responses are. But being able to stand in my own power and assert the things that I'm doing right now aligns with me on a soul level, and I don't go home feeling like I'm an imposter or feeling a feeling of regret. So say right now in this moment, I choose to feel what emotion. I choose to think what kind of thoughts. Because if you don't choose your thoughts will choose you. You are a quantum programmer, my friend. You can bend light with your mind. Literally. Number 4, embody this version of you completely. There's an ancient Hermetic principle called the principle of care. It's also called the generative principle because the ancients, 4,000 to 8,000 years ago, believed that this principle was responsible for literally creating their reality. And the principle at a high level goes something like this. What you put your heart, mind, and action into will manifest into physical reality. It starts with heart. It starts with a desire. What do you really desire? The heart knows. Even if your mind will be able to pick things apart, sit in silence in the morning for 30 minutes because you probably have a mind that craves silence. And observe the thoughts that are flowing through you. And wait till you find that silence. And in that silence, almost like when we're living our everyday lives, it's like trying to listen to your heart is like trying to hear somebody whispering at a rock concert. But when you're able to silence your mind and get into that stillness, that's when you can actually hear what you're feeling in your heart, right? When people say I know, they don't point up here, they point here. I know because the heart knows. Then it follows with the mind. This is where many people get trapped because they overthink things. You just need a plan. What does your future look like? What are the steps that you need to take? Immediately in the here and now, break it into little chunks. And then third thing, which is the most important thing, is taking action. Guts. That's what they called it, having guts. Because you can think everything you want in the mental plane, but it's not going to happen in your physical reality if you don't begin taking action towards it now. You may not have all the answers, but if you begin taking action, you'll begin impressing those actions on the mental plane. Remember, we talked about the causal plane. You are now the creator of your reality. And then you'll get feedback. You'll see effects. You'll be able to observe those effects and tweak your response, to tweak your approach. And this is how you get 1% better every day. And then completely embody this version of yourself. Live your truth and embody that truth and fully immerse yourself in the thing you want to do. Don't half-ass it. Don't be saying, I'm going to start a business and then start watching Netflix every night. It's not going to serve you. And you're going to know that doesn't serve you because you're going to feel like shit. But anyway, reality bends because you're a conscious programmer. Because in the end, consciousness itself determines what is real. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Until next time, peace.